welcome to another edition of Nasdaq Spotlight live at the Microsoft Ignite conference. As you can see, a little bit the lighting has changed, the mood has changed. We're getting into the evening portion of festivities here at the conference, and our conversations continue with Trace Hunt, VP of Sales at SoftNAS. So nice meeting you, Trace.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you for taking some time from the conference. So tell us a little bit about SoftNAS.
SoftNAS, we're an independent software vendor for Microsoft. We help customers in the Azure cloud. And how we help them is that we actually create what we call a network attached storage in the cloud. So they're able to move data as well as move applications to the cloud very quickly.
And so what brings you to the conference today?
Well, we're an exhibitor. And so it's our second year here to be as an exhibitor here for Azure, so actually Microsoft. So it's a great time to be here to meet customers and talk to people.
And I know the conference is just starting and getting kicked off, but what are some of the trends at large that you're hearing, maybe not just from the conference, but overall that are happening in the industry?
Well, the most amazing piece I see out of it is that you'll talk to about 9 out of 10 companies here, and that all of them either in the cloud, they're moving to the cloud, or they've got an edict to be in the cloud in the next 24 months.
Yeah.
And so the whole idea of the cloud is really changing IT consumerization. The whole way that they're going to be looking at how they consume IT. Because these companies for years have been wondering, why am I in the data center business? Why should I keep these expensive data centers when I can do something else with it? And so the cloud is really driving that adoption, and you're seeing that start to take off out of it, and it's really going to change the landscape, how companies view IT.
And are there any projects in particular that you're working on now that you're most excited by?
Well, the main thing is that Microsoft's a big customer of ours, and just working with their customers. And so what we've come out with is a new version of our product that allows them to move data quicker to the cloud and also move it around from multiple on-prem sites and back into the cloud. So that's probably the most exciting part of the project, is what now we're able to give customers more answers to their problems than what they've had before.
Right. And so this industry is accelerating and changing all the time. When you look down, let's even say like 2 to 5 years, because 10 is going to be hard to predict. What do you really see driving the industry?
Well, it's going to be the cloud, because what's going to happen there is that people are going to be looking at that. How do I go use the services or look at other services to go in there? The biggest impact it's going to have is on some of these big hardware guys, the Dells, the EMCs, and some of the HPs of the world, because people are going to need their hardware for on-prem for the data centers. So it's going to change a lot out of it, because you got to be much more of knowing what the cloud does and how the cloud's going to affect us. And it's been here for years. Not a lot of us realize that our iPhones have had us in the cloud for many years already.
Right. So let's shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
Headed to a lightning round. So what app can you not live without?
It's probably between 2 of them, okay? I have to admit Outlook is one of them, because I live by the email. But from a personal side, I've got some music apps I like a lot that are one's a tuner and one's that you can find chords to any songs that you want.
Yes, and which is so essential to driving productivity, right?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And what is the coolest tech that you use in your office?
I'd say the 2 coolest tech is my MacBook Pro and my iPhone.
Yeah.
But more importantly, I'm a big fan. I use a lot of OneDrive and Dropbox, so that I collapse all my work into that, so I can literally pick up my work on any device.
Right.
So I'm never that far away from looking at whatever file or graph or whatever type of data I want, because the data is your DNA of your business.
Right. That's a good way. Yes, I completely agree. It's a good way of looking at it. And what do you like to do when you're not working?
Family, and I'm a musician.
Oh, what do you play?
I play keys and guitar, so anything with a keyboard, like a piano or organ or synthesizer, or anything that's got strings, like a guitar, violin, mandolin, bass.
Nice.
I have like 26 instruments in my house.
That's fantastic.
And I can play every one of them.
Again, key to why you need those music apps as well.
That's right.
Right. As we start to wrap up here, Trace, what advice do you have for people who are watching this and thinking, I want to eventually get into the industry one day?
If you want to get into the industry one day, right now the biggest, hottest thing I keep talking about is cloud. Learn it, understand understand it, understand what's going on with it, and how you can take advantage of it. Because even though I've done sales my whole life, there's a lot of other pieces to that part that people are going to need those skills and those abilities to go understand this part out of it. Just be able to learn to change. This industry changes so quickly out of it, and 5 years can be completely different what we see here today.
So how did you learn about, how did you catch yourself up, or were you always in tech sales, or?
Yes, when I got out of college, I went straight into IT sales.
Okay.
And I got an engineering degree, so that helps me kind of, I have a natural affinity for the technical side, and so that always keeps me in front of that part. But over the years, I've learned how to consume the technical side and be able to go out and go tell stories about it. Because when you're selling, you got to tell stories to people about what's going on and how this will help change them. Because if they can't make money or monetize in some way, they're not going to buy it.
Right.
So how do you take that message and tell the story around it? So that's what's been a big enabler.
And that's key. Well, thank you so much, Trace, for joining us.
You
Appreciate
bet.
your time.
You bet. I appreciate it.
And thank you all for joining. Stay tuned for more conversations right here from Orlando, Florida at the Microsoft